Hey everybody, we're back this week and going to try to answer some questions for you. Before we start, I want to say appreciate sending all the questions in and keep them coming.
Did you know Dr. Nick?
Yes, I did know Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick spent a lot of times as a lot of the guys, and we were around him a good bit. Was a very nice man, and knew his son Dean Nicopolis.
Was he or his nurse your doctor nurse?
No, Dr. Nick was not our doctor. Or mine and Joyce. I'm assuming that's what the question was asked. And no, his nurse wasn't our nurse. See, we had our own doctors that we went to.
Did you use the same dentist as Elvis?
No, we had our own dentist that we went to, and Elvis had his that he went to.
Did you ever meet Bernard Lansky and purchase clothes from him?
I met Bernard Lansky in the 90s, I believe it was, when I was working for Sid Shaw, doing some of his Elvis Yours souvenirs and stuff here in Memphis. And I had gone out with Sid to take his stuff out. As a matter of fact, Sid had an article that he put out about this over in England. But kind of a long story short, we had inventoried in Mr. Lansky, the first time I ever met him. And his kind of count wasn't the count that we had anyway. We kind of had a little disagreement and argument, and we kind of left it at that.
Do you have any grandchildren named after Elvis?
I do not have any grandchildren named after Elvis. I have 5 granddaughters and 1 grandson, but none's named after Elvis.
Do you ever feel Elvis's presence today?
Feel Elvis's presence every day. It's kind of like Mom and Dad said, or we've all said in videos. Different things always bring up a memory or make us think, whatever it is, make us think about Elvis or Graceland or Lisa. Our times. Not too awful long ago, I had a dream, and it was almost real, like I'm sure all of y'all have had them. But it was we were on tour, and actually my dream had been fulfilled. I was one of the guys, and I was working for Elvis, and he had actually come downstairs and was actually looking for Daddy. And it's just kind of one of those crazy back and forth things, but it seems so real like. But yeah, I mean, there's times that you might get that weird feeling, and it just make you think, or like if I'm listening to music, sometimes and I'm speaking for myself, almost sitting there listening to him sing or something, and it's like sometimes almost like you can just feel it like he's there.
Why didn't Elvis's coffin have a U.S. flag on it since he was military?
From what I understand, and what I've always heard, Vernon had the funeral arrangements made, and he just, I guess, chose not to do it in the military style.
What is your opinion of Bob Joyce?
Well, Bob Joyce is not Elvis. Whether a lot of you believe it or not, and we've said it on videos, and everybody has their own belief, but as I'm going to say again, he is not Elvis Presley. I've never met the man, and I'm sure he's probably a fine man, so I really can't say anything bad about him, but he's not Elvis Presley.
Did you or any of the other kids like Kiss?
The group Kiss, yes, we did. As a matter of fact, me and Joey and Rory that I speak of, which I've had people ask who was Rory Miller. That was Vernon's girlfriend, Sandy Miller's son, and me and him were best buddies. And he had a sister, Laura, that you've heard me mention in videos, and they played together, Laura and Lisa. But yeah, I like Kiss music. In the late 70s and early 80s, I had some Kiss posters of one of my favorites was, Rock and Roll All Night. Who didn't like that?
How did your folks keep their marriage together?
My folks kept their marriage together, well, because they had me.
Okay.
No. That, would probably be a better question for them, but I'm gonna answer that from a childhood of seeing it. It wasn't always easy. There was tough times as well as good times. Daddy, the way I seen it, was torn between two loves. He loved Mama, was the love of his life, and he loved Elvis, which was like his brother. And he had to do the best, stand in between the best he could. But like I said, it wasn't always easy. And you know what? We'll actually get into maybe some good video stories on that. But I'll give you a quick one. It was Mama's birthday one time, and I remember we spent there, and Elvis had called, and Daddy had to go out to Graceland, and they were going to go somewhere. And anyway, he was supposed to be back, just within a few hours. Well, they ended up being gone all day, late night. Of course, me and Joy was there with her, and she was upset and hurt, like anybody would be. And Daddy finally come in, and he was apologizing and getting ready to do, and explaining he was, he just got hung up in the situation, and Mama didn't make any difference. But he said, well, he got you something for your birthday. And Mama's at first like, well, I don't want it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, he got it for your birthday. We thought about your birthday, and I'm sorry he kept me out. So they went out to the car, and Daddy opened up the trunk, and then at that time they had just come out with them. It was a microwave range oven cooker thing that they had just come out with at the time. And of course, she kind of got over it, but guess what? She kind of really didn't. But like I said, there was a lot of tough times and good times, but I guess the best answer is true love, and I don't know that, I hope that's what I can have.
You hope that's what you can have.
Well, I mean, that's what I got, baby.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, I'm in the doghouse now.
Okay, and the last one is, what did you call Delta, and how does she treat you kids?
That's a good question. Well, we called her Aunt Delta most of the time, but if things didn't go right, we probably called her some other things. Which brings me to another quick story that I'll tell you about. Aunt Delta most of the time kept up with Lisa as far as making sure, she got her bath and her dinner and stuff like that. And Delta, we get tired. We would, play and be in and out of Graceland and on the golf carts and just, running wild. And at the time, we didn't see it. I can kind of see it now. But we were probably hell to keep up with. And so she would want to kind of cut it off and say, Lisa, it's time for you to get your bath. And kind of shove us like, they need to go home and y'all can play again tomorrow or whatever. And Lisa would be like, no, I'm playing. I don't want a bath. I don't want a bath. We was downstairs during this time playing down in the pool room. And Aunt Delta had said, now, Lisa, I'm going to tell you one more time now, you need to come up and get your bath. And so you can get to bed. And Lisa had said, no, why don't you just carry your fat ass back upstairs? So Lisa was a lot like her daddy, and you just didn't really tell her what to do. But to answer the question, we did call her Aunt Delta. With that being there, that's all the questions, correct?
That's all.
With that, hey, I just want to say, look, next Saturday, we got the big fight coming with my nephew, Dakota, Joey's son, Dakota the Dream Smith. I know a lot of you is going to come and be out there to support us. We appreciate it. Those that couldn't make it, hey, we appreciate y'all. Keep him in your prayers and wish him a victory. And till we see you next week, remember, we always live Elvis.